Hi guys, welcome to the Kids Weekend Code Lab. All right, so today we are going to do a recap, all right, on what we went through on Kids Coding First, okay? And the first thing we'll be looking at is introduction to graphic design. So in the coding first, all right, we talked about graphic design. We looked at graphic design, what it means, all right, and we say that it means using pictures, colors, text, shape to create something that shares a message. It's how we make things look nice, fun, or professional, so others can understand or feel something just by looking at it. Okay, so here is not only about just when you get pictures, colors, text, and just put everything together. No, it has to send a message. If it's not sending a message, then that's not a good design. Okay, so graphic design means using pictures, colors, text, shapes to create something that when people see it shares a message, it gives them an information, the information they are trying to pass. All right, so we also looked at where do we see this graphic design, and we said that graphic design is everywhere. All right, now you can see it in posters like a school event or movie night poster. We see it in flyers like something handed out for a party or sales. You see it in logos like the TikTok, Pepsi, or Link School logo. Okay, we see it like in book covers that make you want to read a book, social media design, and digital arts, things that pop up on Facebook, Instagram or YouTube. And we also talked about that we see it in packagings, all right, like your normal biscuit, favorite biscuits packaging, all right, all those things are graphic design. Okay, so we also looked at why graphic design is important. Okay, and we say it is important because it helps grasp attention quickly, like when you see a big colorful sign. All right, one thing is, if you see a flyer, all right, or a design that has beautiful colors, shapes, and pictures, and you just see another flyer that just has only message written on them. All right, obviously the ones that has a design, pictures, shapes, colors, text, and all those things, all right, it will obviously grab more attention than the one that was just written on a plain sheet. All right, so it helps grabs attention. If you're passing and you see a good design, like it's one of the quality of a good design, when you're passing and you see like a good design, you want to turn back and look at it. Okay, and then we also say that it makes information easier to understand. All right, one of the importance of graphic design is that it makes information easier to understand. Okay, because there are pictures that explains it, there are colors, text, and everything is put in there nicely. Okay, then we also talked about that it helps us express idea and emotion without needing many words. All right, with graphic design you don't need too much words. All right, you don't need to come and start writing long letters or stuff like that. Okay, and then it makes things look organized and professional. All right, with the pictures and everything, graphic design makes things look organized and then professional. Okay, so that day also we also looked at good designs and bad designs. We looked at some of the good designs that we have and some of the bad designs that we had, and we also talked about the principles of design, where we talked about layout, typographical hierarchy, and so much more. All right, and we said that these principles are like laws, all right, or rules that guides design. In designing, you just don't come and start putting things together. No, you don't do it like that. Like there are some certain things that you're supposed to do. Okay, so we also looked at another topic known as getting started with Canva, which was on day 2, where we now introduce the application software that we use, which was Canva. Okay, we discussed what Canva is, and Canva is an easy to use design tool that helps you create beautiful things like posters, flyers, social media posts, cards, book cover, and then so much more. One thing with Canva is that it's friendly, it's a friendly application software to use. All right, it is easier to understand, and most of the times, the elements that you want to use to design, you can get it from there. Okay, instead of like going to Pinterest or Freepik or other websites to download your pictures. Okay, so we looked at Canva homepage, all right, and the Canva design editor interface, because we said that Canva has two interfaces, which is known as the Canva homepage and the Canva design homepage. All right, so where Canva homepage is where it all begins. Okay, when you open your Canva, you will see the homepage, from where you can see the search for templates like birthday post or school flyer. Right, you can click on create a design, project, home. All right, all those tools are found in Canva homepage. Okay, so Canva homepage is like, that's the first Canva interface that you see. That's the first thing you see once you open your Canva. All right, like in home, okay, you can find in home, you can find the recent designs that you have worked on. All right, then for projects are where most of your projects are saved. All right, and then it is categorized for you. Okay, like your presentation slides, your photos, screenshots, and all those things, they are all like organized, all right, categorized for you. Unlike in home, where everything it's arranges it according to the recent thing that you have worked on. Then we also have templates in Canva. Templates are basically where you get like already made designs. Okay, so most of the times when you want to design, you don't know what to do already. All right, or maybe time to start a design from beginning. All right, you don't have it. Okay, so you can just like go to the Canva templates and search for the particular design you want to make. Okay, you can search for birthday flyers, school sports day flyer, anyone you want to make, and then I'm sure that you can get it in Canva, where you can now customize the templates, which is the already made design. Okay, how you want them to be. Okay, so you can also, in Canva homepage, we also have where is known as create. All right, create a design. This is a place where you create your document size. Okay, because when designing, there are different document size for any design you want to make. All right, for flyer, it has its own document size. If you want to make a design for Instagram post, it has. If you want to make a design for Twitter, it has its own document size. If you want to make a design for presentation, it has its own document size. So you don't use the one that is meant for the other for another one. Why? Because when you want to post that thing, all right, it might not fit, because Facebook and then Instagram, I don't think they have the same document size. Okay, let me say now you want to make a design for your Twitter cover page, and you go and use the one for Instagram design. All right, it will not fit. Okay, it will not fit, because why? The Twitter cover page has a landscape shape. All right, why for Instagram they have the one which is the Instagram square, 1080 by 1080. Okay, so you see it's not the same size. So imagine you want to make a design for a document size that has a landscape, all right, which is a rectangle. Okay, and then you go and use the one that has a square, which is meant for Instagram. Obviously it will not fit. All right, so it might cut off, when you want to post it, it might cut off some part of your design. All right, or sometimes it might not fit, you now start stretching it, which will not make your design look blur. Okay, so in the design editor, right, this is where the magic happens. Okay, this is where the magic happens. The design editor interface is where you now make the design. Okay, once you have created your document size, all right, it will take you to the design editor interface. Okay, and this is where you now make the design. Like, it is where the magic happens. All right, so now in this design editor, all right, we have the left side menu, just like we also have in the home page. All right, So we have tools like Elements, Text, Upload, Background, etc. All right. We also have the Magic Media. There we have, what else? Okay, I think these are the ones that at least we use often. Okay, so tools are where you get like things like your shape, your line tools, and then so much more. All right, while Elements are basically where you can search for any elements, all right, that you want to use and design. There you have pictures, you have the ones for graphics, all right, I think videos also. Okay, so let me say now, if you are making a design for like a school sport day flyer, all right, you can just go to Elements and search for, let me say you need to put like kids now that are playing or that are in a sport uniform, all right, you need to get an image like that. You don't need to go outside of Canva, okay, to go and download that image or get an image. In Canva, in Elements, you can just go and search for maybe kids in sportswear, all right, or kids playing football, or kids playing, and then you will see all those things. All right, you will see like different images. All right, let me say you are designing something that has to do with cloud. Okay, you can just go to Elements and search for clouds or cloud icon, and you will see different shapes of cloud, different colors, and then you pick any one that you want to. All right, then in Upload, this is where you can upload a file. All right, so let me say you are working on a birthday flyer, and then you need to go and get your picture, all right, or picture of the person that you are making the flyer for. Okay, you can just go to Uploads, all right, then you click on Upload Files, and then it takes you to your files. All right, so you now get the image from where it is. Do you get the image from where it is? And then anything that you have uploaded in Canva, all right, sometimes when you just click, if you want to use that image again, there is no need for you to go like and start re-uploading the file again. What you can just do is just to click on Upload, all right, then scroll down and you see all the images or all the files that you have uploaded. You can upload audio, you can upload video, different files that you want to upload. Okay, then we also have the Text tool. So Text tool, this is basically where if you want to write something, all right, you can just go to Text tool, maybe add a heading or subheading or the body, all right, or just add a text box, all right, and then you customize your text anyhow you want it. You can change the font, the color, anything. All right, so now in the center of your interface is where we have our black canvas. All right, what is this canvas? This is where your design is, the design you are making. All right, the document size that we have created, you find that's our canvas that we're talking about. Okay, and then we also have the top bar. All right, so in fact, let me show you guys everything that we are saying. So this is what I mean now. Here now is the design editor. All right, this is the design editor interface. This is how it looks like. Okay, so this is design, all right, where you can get an already made design. It works like just templates. Okay, so if I click on it like this, you see that it's giving me the same thing, like things that look like what I'm making. So in case if I don't like this again, I can decide to choose another template. Okay, then if you look at here, we have Elements, where I told you guys that this is where you can search for anything you want to search for. All right, you can see different things here. Those ones are pictures, you have shapes, graphics, and so on. You can just come here, click on search. All right, let me say we want to search for playing children, so you can just click on playing children. All right, click enter, and then you can see it gave us the one for graphics and the one for photos. Okay, one thing with graphics is like it looks like a cartoon kind of image, or like it looks like illustration, let me use that word. Okay, but then photos look like real human beings. Okay, and then one thing with graphics is that it comes without a background, but then with photos it comes with a background. And in Canva, if you're not using Canva Pro, all right, you cannot remove background. So I always advise that you use the graphics which comes without a background. okay, so that you can put your own, decide to put your own background and customize it however you want it to be. Okay, so if you click on see all right here, you can see different images of children playing, because I searched for playing children. Okay, so you see with Canva you don't really need to go outside of Canva and get your image unless you want to. All right, so we have text here. All right, like I said, you have add a heading, add subheading, and add a little bit of the body text. All right, but then the one that I normally use here is just add a text box. If I click on this add a text box, all right, if you notice, you will see that something is here. All right, it added a text box for me, which I can edit and type whatever thing I want to type. And then once I'm done typing, I can change my fonts from here. So if I click on it like this, all right, look at the fonts are out, so I can search the font that I want to use, or just scroll down and choose whatever font that I want to use here. Okay, here is where you can change the font size, so I can decide to increase this to any amount that you want to. Then here is where you can change the text color. Okay, if you just click on it, these are different colors that you can change your text to. So maybe I might just want it to be blue, change to blue. Okay, so here bold, these are just different tools that you can use to customize your text. Okay, so that is for text. The next one here we have, this brand is for pro, so we don't use it. So we have the uploads, where I told you guys that the uploads are where we upload files that we want to work with. So if I just click on the uploads, I have here upload files. Okay, and once you just click on this upload files, it automatically brings out your files for you. So depending on any picture that I want to use, all right, if let me say I want to get a picture from my pictures, okay, I just click here and then get this picture. Once you just click on it, you will notice something, that it will be uploading from here. You see what I'm saying? So this shows that the picture is uploading. All right, look, it's not yet done. So once the picture I've uploaded, it will be here. Okay, so if I want to use the picture, I will just click here and then the picture will appear here. Look what I mean. Okay, and then if anytime I want to use this picture again, I don't need to go and re-upload the file. It will be here. These are like different pictures that I uploaded in Canva. You see how they are here. So if I don't want to go to home to go and get it, this is another place where I can get it. Okay, so we have the tools, like I said, where we have draw. Then we have tools. I don't use this draw because I'm not drawing anything, but then you can draw in Canva. Okay, can draw in Canva. So we also have like shapes here, different shapes. We have lines. Okay, we have sticky notes. We have and text tool is also here. Okay, and then we have tables if you want to put tables. All right, so we also have projects here, apps, then Magic Media. Magic Media is like where you generate, it's like Canva AI, where you can generate any image or videos that you want to generate. Okay, so, and like I said, this is our canvas. All right, this is our canvas. Canvas is like where your designs are happening. All right, like the document size, like I said. Okay, and then if you look up, all right, you will say this is the place, all right, where we download. So if you are done with this, your design, you just come to share, click on share. Okay, say that this is taking time, but then you're supposed to see download. Look at here, download. Once you just click on those download, okay, you will see it's telling me that it's downloading as a PDF. So if I don't want it to download as a PDF, I'll just come here, open this up, and then download it however I want to type file, choose the type file that I want to use, and then come here and click on download. All right, and then it will download and be in my file. All right, so that's for Canva. Okay, so the next thing which we'll be looking at, all right, is understanding colors and color theory. Okay, color is so the next thing we'll be looking at is understanding color theory. Okay, color are very important in designs. All right, they're not just for decoration. All right, they help tell a story, grab attention, and then show emotion. All right, designers use colors to make people feel something or understand something without using so many words. I just want you to know that color plays an important role in design. All right, and then there are some psychologies behind colors. Okay, so when you're choosing colors, it depends on the kind of design you are making. All right, to determine the design that will determine the color that you would choose. Okay, and we looked at different types of color. Here we looked at primary colors. All right, and in primary colors there are like just 3 basic colors that cannot be made by mixing other colors. So primary colors cannot be made by mixing other colors, and then we have like red, yellow, blue. Those are like the 3 primary colors. Okay, and then we also have secondary colors, which is made by mixing 2 primary colors. Okay, if you mix like 2 primary colors, it gives you a secondary color. Like if you mix like red and yellow, it will give you orange. If you mix blue and yellow, it will give you green. If you mix blue and red, it will give you purple. So just know that primary color cannot be made by mixing any other color. All right, and then secondary color can be made by mixing 2 primary colors. Okay, and then we also looked at tertiary colors, which are made by mixing both primary with a secondary color. So if you mix a primary and a secondary color, you get tertiary colors. All right, like we have red, which is a primary color, and orange, which is a secondary color, is equals to red orange color. Okay, and so on. So we also looked at warm colors and cool colors. All right, feelings from colors, where warm color are like red, orange, yellow, and then this color makes us feel excited, energetic, and then happy. All right, yellow for red, exciting; orange, energetic; yellow, happy. All right, like these are the psychology behind colors. And we also like say that they remind us of like the sun, fire, and joy. Okay, so now you've just seen how we just looked at the psychology behind colors. So let me say now, imagine you want to make something exciting. All right, you can decide to incorporate the red color in your design. All right, if you want to make something energetic, all right, or exciting and energetic, you can decide to incorporate red and orange in your color. Okay, and if you want to make something that makes people feel happy, a design that makes people feel happy when they see it, you can decide to incorporate the yellow color in your designs. Okay, so for the cool colors, we have like blue, green, purple, and these colors feel calm. For blue, green, relaxing, and then sometimes sad. All right, those are the psychology behind the blue, green, and purple colors. All right, they remind us of water, cloud, and then quiet places. That is for cool color. Okay, so look at the color psychology that we have here, where we say that red has the feeling of energy, passion. All right, and people that mostly use this red in their designs are usually used for sales or action button or love. Okay, and then we also have the color blue, which has the feeling of calm and trust. Hospitals and tech companies usually use this blue color in their design. So we also have the yellow color, which are happiness, warmth. All right, and people that normally use this are kids brand or fun posters. All right, so we also have the color green, which has the feeling of nature and growth. is mostly used for eco products or health related designs. We have the one for purple color, which is magic and creative, normally uses for stories and fantasies. We have the white colors, all right, which are clean and simple, and is mostly used for health, tech, and minimalism. All right, we have the one for black, which is power and elegance, which is mostly used in fashion and luxury. All right, so after looking at colors, the next thing that we looked at was typography and fonts. All right, so typography is the style of writing or how letters look in a design. Okay, it's about choosing the right font to match the mood or message of what you are creating. So just like color makes us feel some certain type of way when we see it, fonts also do the same thing. All right, and fonts are basically letters that we use in our designs. Okay, and when you're making a design, you choose a font that matches the design that you are making. So we also looked at different types of fonts. Here we looked at serif fonts, which looks traditional and formal, and we said that these fonts have small lines or feet at the end of the letter. All right, and then is used for books, newspapers, certificates, anything that needs to feel serious, classic, or smart. All right, and then we looked at that some type of fonts that under the serif fonts are like Times New Roman and others. Okay, so for the serif fonts, it's like a traditional and formal kind of font. So if you're making something that has to do with traditional or formal, all right, it's best advised to use serif fonts. And then we also looked at sans serif fonts, all right, which is another type of font, and we said that this font is modern and clean. This is one of the fonts that people use very well these days because it's modern and clean, like we said. It's not too complicated. And I said that these fonts are simple and smooth, no extra line or feet. And these fonts can be used for websites, apps, kids posters, modern logos, anything that needs to feel fun, fresh, and easy to read. And then we looked at script fonts. All right, so we said that this script font looks like handwriting, feels like elegant, creative, personal. Okay, so for script fonts, these fonts are basically mostly used when you are doing a design that has to do with children. Okay, it's always advised to use script font. All right, because it is playful to use. It looks like a handwriting. Or another place you can see the script fonts are in invitation letters, invitation cards rather. All right, this is where you will see the script fonts very well. Then we looked at display fonts, and we say that these are bold, stylish fonts, right, made to grab attention. Okay, so display fonts are basically, they are bold type of fonts, and they are mostly used for movie posters, billboard, or advertisements. Display fonts are mostly used in advertisement because the name display, it is bold. All right, so it catches people's attention quickly. Okay, so we also looked at working with shapes and logos. All right, where we say that a logo is a special symbol or design that represents a brand, school, businesses, or idea. All right, and then it helps people recognize something quickly, like how you instantly know the Nike, all right, logo, the Apple logo, or the Pepsi logo. Okay, so we looked at different logos. Okay, and we said that these logos are, every logo are made with shapes. All right, every logo are made with shapes, and then shapes also in each design, there are usually shapes also, might be, there are different types of shapes. We have the square, the rectangle, the triangle, circle, abstract shapes. All right, these abstract shapes are basically shapes that are made from different shapes. Okay, so what are logos made of? Like I said, they are made from basic shapes like circle, and then for shapes, there's psychology also behind shapes. Okay, so if you're making a logo, all right, or you're making a design, the shape that you use actually matters. Like for circle, circle means, you know, friendly, safe and inclusive. Okay, talk about triangle, power and direction. Square, balance and stability. Then star, which is achievement and fun. So that is all for what we did in the kids coding first. Okay, these are basically like the things that I know that you guys will need for the kids weekend code lab. All right, so thank you guys and see you in our next class. Bye.